I try and tell anyone that will listen, you can't shame me about something I've accepted. I try my hardest to not use these products as like a lifeline because it just hurts.
It hurts. I always think there's something to be said when someone can use any product in the world and they still pick like a under £5 one. Today's guest is one of the new generation of stars in the beauty world. She is the in-demand makeup artist with regular A-list clients like Michaela Coel and Janet Jackson, and she has just launched her own hair brand, Inole. In this episode, Bernicia Boateng spoke about starting her career on the counter in Selfridges.
By the time I'm done, I've done a whole face. Like, they are ready for their wedding.
Why you will never see her with half-done makeup.
It's either we're all in or we're all out.
And the interesting mantra she says to herself when she's brushing her teeth every morning.
I swear to you, Sarah, since I got that advice, I always do it.
But first, I had to ask her, what is her best side?
Can I try that side and just see how it looks?
Absolutely.
Just because...
yeah, the hair.
Let's see.
You want this side? Okay, Bernicia does have a side after all.
This episode is sponsored by M&S. As a beauty director, my job is to review and test beauty products. I know an icon, and an icon in the making, when I see it, or at the very least, when I rub it on the back of my hand. Which brings me nicely onto M&S, which has become a one-stop shop to find all your favourite cult brands in one place. It's Living Proof, This Works, Estee Lauder, Colour Wow, the brands we come back to again and again. I know from my DMs that you are all curious about K-beauty, that's Korean beauty, and M&S now stocks some of the most exciting brands out there. There's Beauty of Joseon, Biodance, Medicube. Have you tried their Zero Pore Pads? Chef's kiss for that glow. Head to M&S, of course, after you've watched this interview, and explore their utterly brilliant edit. Love that.
So I actually would love to go back to the beginning when there was that moment where you thought, I want to be a makeup artist. But every beauty desk does start with the guest's beauty ride or dies. And I see two of my favourite products sitting in front of you.
I know which one it is.
Okay, go on.
Sarah. I would say you're a C. Ferulic girl.
Obsessed with C. Ferulic. But tell me, why do you love that product? I call this the godfather of vitamin Cs. You can steal my line if you want.
This is... Okay, I'm going to give it to you. It's the godfather, but it's the queen. She's the queen bee.
More.
My mum's always been really, really big on skincare. But those days, skincare wasn't as advanced or we didn't know everything that we know now. And I remember when I came across this vitamin C, I used it for like a week. And I noticed within a week of using it that my skin looked brighter.
Wow.
This is
It just works.
Insane product.
Okay.
Every single human being needs it in their kit.
Do you use it every morning?
I use it every morning. I use it every single morning.
I have to ask you because your skin is like, it looks like there is not a mark on there. What is your morning skincare routine, including CE Ferulic?
Well, there's a lot of foundations, but I will,
yes,
I'll take
fine.
it. But, you know, my skincare routine is, I don't want to say it's simple because it's not.
What cleanser?
The Estee Lauder Cleansing Balm. And then for a deeper wash, I go with the La Roche-Posay. And that's an amazing one, like the gel cleanser. So you want to start off with your active, which is the C. Ferulic, which is a vitamin C. And then I move on to my hyaluronic acid. And then SkinCeuticals have another serum that I'm obsessed with. It's like Botox in a little bottle.
Petox. I think that's what it's called.
The Petox is incredible. It tightens the skin. It leaves it firm, gives you this glow. And then I move on to the Sicily Youth Serum. And that one, I'm a bit of a junkie. See, I said it was small, but it's getting long now.
You know, no, when you said it wasn't that complicated, you meant it was very
really complicated.
But look, if that's what you look like, you're selling it.
Girl, I'm trying. And then, of course, after my serums, I go in with my moisturizer.
Mm-hmm.
This is the Tatcha. Of course, most people know it or have tried it. This is the Dewy Skin Cream, and this is absolutely beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
I love plump skin. And as I'm getting older, for some strange reason, I don't know who's against me, but my skin's getting slightly drier. So I I love a rich moisturizer that works with makeup. I think I'm one of those people, if you see me using a skincare product, it's because it works well under makeup. That's something I'm always thinking about. So this one is beautiful. And then, of course, girlies,
Girl after my
if
own
you're
heart.
skipping your SPF, I don't know if we could be friends. No, I'm joking. I still love you. But it is essential. And this one's gorgeous. Just look at this. This is the Shiseido, let me get it right, Shiseido Expert Sun Protector Clear Stick. And it's gorgeous. Like, it glides on. It doesn't move your makeup around. If you're worried, especially me being dark skin, I'm always like, I'm going to have like a grey, ashy skin after I put my SPF. No, this one glides on and it's invisible. Perfect. I love it so much. I feel like in the last couple of years, I'm approaching my 35th birthday in a couple of months. And as I'm getting older, I'm realizing that I love makeup and makeup is my first love. I'm obsessed with the art of makeup, the colors, the textures. But as I'm getting older, I'm realizing that the beauty starts from before the makeup.
Yeah.
And without the skincare, you just aren't going to get the results that you deserve. You paid a good coin for these good products. You want to get the best out of it. So when I get with a client now, the first thing I say is like, what are you using skincare-wise? They're like, I thought we were doing makeup. I'm like, no, skincare first.
Exactly.
I'm obsessed with it. So yeah.
It's funny, I often will say to people, because one of the most common questions I get is, oh, the foundation doesn't sit right on my skin, or the foundation vanishes by lunchtime, or the foundation goes cakey, and they want to blame the foundation. But actually, when you do like 1 minute of digging, you realize it's not the foundation's fault, it's the prep. What was the factor that made you think this is what I want to do?
Do you know what? I've wanted to be a makeup artist since I was about... Okay, when I was 11, I didn't know I wanted to be a makeup artist, but I knew I loved makeup. So my mum is the most glamorous woman I'd ever come across. Well, she's my mum. She also loves beauty. So when we were young, she'd be like, let's go John Lewis or let's go to Debenhams, and we'd go to the Aman counter or the MAC counter, and she'd always be trying a foundation or a powder and stuff like that. And I'd watch her, and it was the way she would behave when she's sitting in that chair. And all of a sudden, her chest was higher. And she was nicer to us because she felt good. And it became something that I was addicted to. So every time, my mum would be like, let's go, clothes shopping. I'm like, okay, cool. I'm going to have to wait for you to try on a million clothes. It's long. But when my mum said, I'm going to go makeup shopping, I was right behind her. I wanted to watch that transformation, the confidence the artist gave her about her skin, about the way she looks, the way she feels. For my prom, I got my older sister, Danita. I was like, Dawn, she was wearing makeup maybe like a year or two before me, so I felt like she was like the queen of makeup. And I told her to do my makeup for my prom. She probably did my makeup for like 5 minutes. But at that age, you're just like, I'm 15, I can't believe I'm allowed to wear makeup. And just the way I felt, it was a feeling that I wanted to create for other people.
Were there any makeup artists that you looked up to?
Oh, at that age, I knew of Pat McGrath because she's Pat McGrath.
Yeah.
And this is, I'm turning 35, so we're talking 20 years ago. There wasn't Instagram. So it wasn't the same as now where it's like I can list loads of makeup artists. I'm like, you're amazing. But I knew of makeup artists like the girls that worked at MAC, or like the really big makeup artists like Charlotte Tilbury and, Pat McGrath. They were like the main ones that I knew those days.
You speak of your mum, going makeup shopping, and you mentioned MAC and you mentioned Iman. Were there many other counters that she could go to find the right foundation shade?
Absolutely not. It was so hard for dark-skinned women.
Yeah.
Like, it was just... There was no range. There was no, MAC did a really, really good job, especially with their NW, NC shades that went really quite darker.
So that's neutral warm and neutral cool.
Exactly. Yeah. So it was neutral cool and neutral warm, yeah.
Yeah.
So literally, and it that was the first brand that made me feel like I feel accepted. I feel like I can actually shop here. So that was really, really good. But in general, no, there wasn't. There wasn't like loads of brands that I could be like, I'm going to go to, I don't know, at those days and be like, I'm going to go to a random counter, especially like luxury makeup. It was so limited. So I'm so proud of how far we've come in terms of just inclusivity and women of all shades feeling like there is a home here. Because it wasn't just dark-skinned women that didn't have a home. I would say there was Asian skin that is a little bit more warm undertone or slightly more yellowy, golden undertone that didn't have their shades either. So in general, I think makeup in the industry is in a much better place in terms of inclusivity. There's still more work to be done, granted, but now we can shop for makeup more or less anywhere.
It makes me so happy to hear, because when I started in the industry like 16 years ago, a brand could confidently say they've got 8 shades and nobody would bat an eyelid.
Yeah, normal.
And I remember it was MAC, then it was Lancome, suddenly it was like 50 shades in a range, and then Fenty. I remember the thing they did really differently is what you said. They created this incredible spectrum of shades, but they also said the fairest of fair people can't find their shades either.
Yeah.
So they went to this world where also they suddenly felt more seen, and it was just... It wasn't a tick box exercise, which I think is what
100%.
they'd say, oh, we've now got 12 shades. And then you'd look and it'd be 11 very similar ones and then just a tick box of a dark shade, even though there are so many different nuances within dark shades.
Sarah, I can't tell you how many times I've bought the darkest shade and then a medium shade and tried to mix it. And then I'm still dark, but I'm grey because the undertones are not there. Do you know what I mean? So it's crazy. I think Fenty put a lot of pressure on the beauty industry in general, because after that, we saw most brands were like, okay, we're not going to get away with not having the right shades anymore. Like, Fenty've done it now, so we all have to like kind of step up.
Thank you, Rihanna.
Thank you, Miss Riri, forever a legend. But I still think there is more we can do with shades.
Of course.
That's 100%.
When you posted that picture the other day, I was looking, it was I think it was a video of all the incredible foundations. I did feel like, wow, the industry has stepped up.
So I met Pat in 2022. We worked on the Met Gala. Was it 2020 to 2023? We did the Met Gala together. We did Michaela Coel's makeup. So we created the look together and I did the makeup myself. But, you know...
Was Pat there?
Pat came in and saw the look at the end and she was like, oh, you did such a good job.
Were you nervous?
I was so nervous. I was a little bit emotional as well. You know, when you've looked up to someone your whole career and, you know, Pat is a force. She's not just a makeup artist. She's a founder. She's this incredible Black woman with power and presence and just is such a sweet person. Like, she's been so supportive of me. Like, I remember not long ago, maybe like a year ago, she called me. She's like, I've got a client for you. I'd love for you to go see them. Like, and it's not like I was doing a brand deal with her or anything. She's just like, I like you. And if then opportunity comes up, I'll help you. So she's such a real queen.
Was that the first time you worked with Michaela Coel? And then is that when it kicked off, or have you been working with her forever?
I've been working with Michaela for like 10 years.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So she's been in my life.
How did you meet?
Do you know what? We met on set of a random music video that she was an extra in and I was doing makeup. And I saw her, I was like, oh my God, that's the girl from Chewing Gum. She's so funny. So I went up to her and I was like, oh my God, I love your show. We kicked it off and we hit it off kind of straight away. And I told her I'm a makeup artist. I'd love to like do your makeup one day. And she was like, do you know what? I've got something going on in a couple of weeks. Like, I'd love to use you. And since then, we've been more or less inseparable. So it started off as more of a working relationship. And now she's literally like one of my best friends, my sister. I love her so much. She's been such a huge part of my career as well. So everything she's done, she's brought me along. We've worked together. And we've both grown so much over the years together. So it's really nice.
Tell me a bit about your makeup style, because you did my makeup last week for an event and I'm normally I get the lashes on, I have the brow, I kind of go for it, contouring. And I looked in the mirror, I thought, oh, this is very glowy and sheer, which wasn't what I was expecting. But then you sort of talked me through it and you said this has become sort of a signature look for you. Tell me a bit more about this sort of glowy, I call it's almost like a no makeup look, but there is makeup.
Yes. When I first started out in makeup, you know, we were doing the block brows. We were giving contour that you could see from down the road. The powder was 5 times lighter than your skin. It was a different era. And I wouldn't say I'm following a trend, but I think I'm following my heart. And I'm following what I believe beauty is. And I love to look at a face. I don't see a face as a face. I see it as a canvas. I think you've got gorgeous skin. You've got gorgeous features. You've got cheekbones. You're chiseled. You are stunning. And I think sometimes when you're so used to wearing makeup in one way, you almost can't see your beauty in another way. And that's why I'm always like big on trying different makeup artists and seeing makeup from different approaches, because it is genuinely how I saw you. I'm like, her skin has all this dimension. If we do gorgeous skincare, we bring out that glow, we give her a gorgeous kind of like soft coverage nonetheless. I love giving my clients that almost like they have nothing on, but you look beautiful. You look kind of like smoothed out. It's almost like a Tom Ford approach to makeup. One of my first ever jobs in makeup was working at Tom Ford Beauty. And
on the counter?
On the counter.
Okay.
And
not a bad place to have one of your first jobs at.
All of my first jobs in beauty was working on the counter. I worked at the MAC counter. I worked at Tom Ford, Illamasqua. I started there I must have been like 22 or 21, and I loved the full-on glam. So when they would tell me, at Tom Ford, it's about illuminating your skin. And I remember thinking, I don't want to do that. I want the heavy, heavy glam. But as I've gotten older, my approach to makeup has changed. And now I do understand that the canvas is something that you can build on.
If you've got your client in front of you and you're going to create the glow, what 3 products would you choose to have that imperceptible sort of glow?
You need a good primer and a good foundation.
Give me names. What's a good primer?
So the Kevyn Aucoin Glass Glow is like a highlighter, and you put it underneath your makeup. You can put it on top as well, but if you're someone that uses a lot of powder like myself on my skin, it might break apart, so use it underneath. That's going to secure your glow.
Okay, tick. Adding to my basket.
Okay, I use a fairly matte foundation. I use the Double Wear, which is technically, it's kind of like medium to matte.
Yeah.
But I still look glowy with it because my skin's really oily.
Yeah.
So when it comes to that, it is hard. I love the Double Wear foundation.
Okay, number 3 for this glow.
Number 3, believe it or not, is lip gloss. I know it sounds crazy.
Thrown me.
It sounds crazy. So I am someone that's always in a glossy lip, and people are like, "You never wear a matte lip." But I'm like, I like the glow.
What have you got on today? Because it's gorgeous.
I've got my MAC clear lip gloss on, and this one's an OG. But the reason I say lip gloss is it reflects. Like it gives you this overall look, softer look than like a matte lip, which for me, I love.
You mentioned your MAC lip gloss, and now I'm thinking, when you're on the counter, just in general, I'm so fascinated by beauty counters. What do they tell you when you step onto that shop floor? Like just sell, 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 or really think about the person sitting there? Or was it like a competition who could sell the most?
I feel like it's probably changed a lot.
Okay.
Those days when I first started makeup, like I said, like 2011 was maybe 2010, my first MAC job. I was a Christmas temp at uni. It was like you had to be a makeup artist to work at MAC. It was about teaching people how to do their makeup like a makeup artist because, Frank and Frank, the men that created MAC, they were makeup artists. So everything about MAC those days, anyway, it was like, can you do a good color match? Before I started working there, I had to do a makeup test. I had to bring a model. And there was someone standing there watching as I chose the colors, as I skin matched her, how I applied the makeup, what powder I chose for her type of skin.
Wow.
I was under pressure. But yeah, I got the job, so.
That's so interesting. Do you have any stories? Are there any customers that have always stayed with you?
There's so many people that I see out and I'm like, I've done her makeup back in the day on counter. Yeah. Sometimes I'll be out and I'm like, oh my God, I actually remember her sitting on my counter and like doing a full face. Because I was one of those people, someone's there to like try on a foundation. Sarah, by the time I'm done, I've done a whole beat face. Like they are ready for their wedding.
Wow.
I used to love it.
You know what's interesting is I see this in a very different way, but as a beauty editor, people will come up to me on the street or whatever and say, I really hate my dark circles, or I hate this feature of mine. What can I use? There's a lot of, that feeling that of being self-conscious about something. And I'm sure you have faced, whether it's clients or people you've met in your career, but makeup is quite powerful in that sense, and hair and skincare, etc.
Makeup is transformative.
Yeah.
Like if you've got dark circles and it's something that you've been dealing with for a long time and it's an insecurity of yours, and then you find the right color corrector, you find the right concealer, and those issues vanish in a second, that's transformational. Like imagine waking up every day and thinking, I hate this feature. This product gets rid of that insecurity for that moment.
I mean, I look at you and I'm like, this is perfection in front of me. But do you have hang-ups, like things that you feel self-conscious about when you look in the mirror?
100%. My dark circles, I've always had them since I was like young. I've always had dark circles. And I think with my insecurities, as I've grown up, I've learned that they're a part of me and they give me character. So now it's like, when I have no makeup on, you'll never see me in a half done makeup. Like I don't do, this is just like my skin tint for the day. It's either we're all in or we're all out.
Interesting.
So,
why?
Yeah, because I just think when I'm doing a natural skin day, this is my skin. This is the skin that God gave me. This is like my dark circles. They give me character in my face. My dark circles are definitely one that I have an issue with. And then as I've gotten older, I feel like I've just accepted the things that I felt were flaws before. Now I'm like, it's who I am.
Yeah.
You have to embrace it. Because now it's not a case of I want to use makeup to cover my skin. I try my hardest to not use these products as like a lifeline. They're there to take me to the next level. When I want to be extra and I want to be, really glamorous, these products are going to aid me into looking and feeling the way I want to feel for this night. But I'm happy with my skin, with my features, when I wash my face and do my skincare as well. My eyebrows are really thin without brow pencil. That's another issue. But again, it's because I used
what brow pencil have you used? Because they look so good today.
God, I've got the Rimmel.
No.
I've been using that one from day one, and then I mix it with MAC stud pencil, and then I also love Refi. And then I use about 5 products. Refi.
Can we keep this simple?
The Refi brow gel, fantastic.
Yeah.
I love the Brow Freeze by Anastasia by Beverly Hills. I love Stud Brow Pencil by MAC. And then the Rimmel is always the first one that I go
What's the Rimmel? Is it
So it's a pencil. It's like a sharpener pencil thing. And it's cute. It's got like the little brush on the side. And I've been using that from day one. I think I started using it in uni.
I always think there's something to be said when someone can use any product in the world and they still pick like a under £5 one. Or
you won't regret it.
Every time I see you, there's a different Bernicia sitting in front of me. And I say that because I genuinely believe that hair does have the power to make you look completely different. So sleek and chic and the whole look. It's like the shirt, I don't get how the boobs haven't fallen out yet. This like stunning, long, dead straight hair. And also, this is probably the biggest compliment to your brand. You would not know that that's a wig.
I really am a firm believer in turning your insecurities into a power, into money. I don't believe that we need to sit in our insecurities. I started my hair brand because I have suffered with traction alopecia for years.
How old were you when it first occurred?
I was, I want to say about 10.
Okay.
When it first got bad. So before that, my hair was incredible. And then I started getting this traction alopecia. But, my mum wasn't that educated in hair. That's the truth. So I had like really, really thick, long, 4C hair. And I would cry. Sarah, when I say I would cry when I was doing my hair, my mum still will talk about it to now.
But why were you crying?
Because it just hurt.
It hurt.
It just hurt. And I don't know, like some of the hairstylists she'll take me to maybe weren't as patient. And some kids are just irritable.
Have you worked out the factors of what caused the alopecia?
At the age of 4 or 5, I had my first relaxer. That's really strong chemical to straighten my hair. So my hair was being over-processed at a baby age. I probably still had baby hair at that age. So from there, it's weaker. And then I'm getting really tight braids all the time. And then, just as I got a little bit older, my hair starts breaking. I just didn't look after my hair. It was an insecurity, so I hid behind extensions. But those days, I was like, I don't want anyone to know I'm wearing extensions. And when you wear your insecurities in a way that you're hiding your insecurities, then it becomes a weapon that people can use against you. But when you embrace it and you're like, yeah, I've got a weave. I've got the best weave, and this is what I'm doing, and this is what's happening to my hair. You might help someone. Or at the very least, you accept what it is and you can move forward. And once you accept something, it doesn't control you anymore. And that's something that for me is so important. And I try and tell anyone that will listen, you can't shame me about something I've accepted, something I've healed from and accepted and worn it with pride. You can't make me feel crap about that. I was losing my hair at a young age. I hope it doesn't happen to anyone else. But if you are in that situation, there's a gorgeous brand called Anole. The hair is amazing.
But for a person who is watching this or listening to this, who has a new brand, what advice do you have for them with social media? Because it can feel really just depressing. Like you're posting, no one's engaging. When it comes to building the Anole social media, what do you sort of what's the goal there, or not the goal? What's the story to the success?
Okay, so with social media in general, anyone that's approaching social media in hopes of growing your business, I think is an incredible tool. But I do have a couple of tips that I would say works for me, and that is trying to disassociate so much with the numbers. Because there are a lot of things that can get you numbers, but might not get you a brand deal, that might not get you your next client, but you will definitely be popular. You might even go viral.
Yeah.
But it doesn't, I'm so big on legacy. How does this age? How does this tell the story of my brand? How does this move me position-wise? Some of the things moving people position-wise doesn't make them viral, doesn't make them the heaviest hitter online, but it gets them to their finish line. And that's where your mind should be. I think aesthetic is really important. I think messaging is really important. Storytelling is really important. Think of your content as something that you would want to consume. With me, I love an aesthetic. Like I love to go on a page and I feel like I'm a part of it. I think Rode does an amazing job with their social media. Not only are they showing beautiful products, but they're world building. You want to be that girl. You want to be one of Hailey's friends. Do you know what I mean? You just want to wear the outfits. You want to be in those rooms. You want your makeup to look, she does the whole barely there skin.
Yes.
You know my approach to your makeup?
Yes.
That's very Hailey coded. It's barely there.
Yeah.
But you understand it through her social media to where you're like, okay, I look natural today, but actually I'm one of the girls. That's just what it is. I think when you're doing your social media, remember that you're ultimately talking to the people you want to sell to. They have to feel it and be in that zone with you. So with Anole, I try my hardest to make sure the content feels like a life, like a world. Like, it's not just hair extensions. You can wear hair extensions and be very chic. There was years ago where wigs were almost put in a bracket of not being chic or not being, refined or put together because it's not your real hair. But Anole shows you through our social media or whatever, you can be whoever you want to be with this product. So whatever it is that is the story behind your brand.
It is, because I think most people just focus on their numbers. Oh, this didn't get enough likes, or this, I don't have enough followers.
Do you know how you can ruin your brand trying to chase likes?
You often do Emma Greed's makeup. Have you picked up any pearls of wisdom in terms of, is there a life mantra? What's Bernicia's mantra for life that just you feel empowered by?
I remember when I first worked with Emma, and she has such an infectious personality. If she was here, she reminds me of you, actually.
Ooh, that's a big compliment.
Yeah, big personality, funny, fun to be around, ambitious, but so likable. And she's just the sweetest, funniest, coolest boss woman you've ever met in your whole life. She's that girl. And I remember meeting her for the first time when I was doing her makeup, and she was just talking to us about confidence. Because one of the questions, she was like, oh, you can ask me anything. And I was like, I loved her energy and just how she filled up a room. And I was like, how do you do this every day? You've got this energy every time I've seen you. What is it? And she's like, Bernicia, when I'm brushing my teeth, I literally look in the mirror and I tell myself I can do it. I tell myself that it's possible. I speak positive affirmations to myself whilst I'm brushing my teeth. And I swear to you, Sarah, since I got that advice, I always do it. When I'm brushing my teeth, is that time in the morning or
Yes.
whatever where you've actually got a minute to yourself. Like
Yeah.
for 2 minutes, the girls aren't going to bother you while
Yeah,
you're
yeah,
brushing
yeah,
your
yeah,
teeth.
yeah.
That's your little time to like speak life into yourself. And before you head out of that house, literally tell yourself, it is possible. It is possible. You can do it. You will achieve. I do it every day now, and I love it. You know, the most important conversations we have in life is the conversations we have with ourselves. And that is something that for me has changed everything.
Let's do a little quick fire round about life as a celebrity makeup artist. What is the earliest time you've had to set your alarm? Was it for me the other week?
No, I got to you about, I probably left my house about 6 a.m. with you. No, I think about 3 a.m.
Okay, what was it for?
A music video years ago, and I thought, this is a lot.
Okay.
Wow.
What was it like doing Janet Jackson's makeup?
I love Miss Janet so much. I call her Miss Janet.
I love that.
She is so amazing, so sweet, so soft-spoken, so feminine, but still so strong. She's just everything. She's probably one of the nicest people I think I've ever met in this industry. She's really soft and nice.
Yeah.
I love her.
What is the weirdest place you've ever had to do makeup?
It's a lot of really weird places, you know, Sarah. What's the weirdest? In a public toilet. But you got to do what you got to do.
Yeah, absolutely.
You just got to do it.
And if you could pick one celebrity whose makeup you would love to do, who would it be?
One celebrity's makeup that I would love, love, love to do, Rihanna. I love Riri.
Yeah.
That's my queen.
It's a great answer. Bernicia, you are a force. Thank you for being with us today. And I'm excited to watch everything that you are about to achieve.
Thank you so much, Sarah. I love you so much. I think you're an absolute queen, and just keep inspiring us. Love you.